Now let's talk about dimensions. So dimensions are essentially right here on the left-hand side. They're going to be the rows. Right now, this report is a page activity report. We only have one dimension, and it's just the page. So if I wanted to add another dimension, I would come down here and click the plus sign here. And then let's say I wanted to find out where these pages are coming from, what country, for example. I could type country, and essentially these are all the parameters that we are collecting, right? So any parameter can be used as a dimension. Country is one. Let's choose the country. So now I know that if I wanted to see the home page here, what countries are hitting the home page. And I can expand that, and we'll see the different countries that are hitting the home page. We have 15 sessions coming in from the US that landed on this particular page, and so forth. I can add another dimension by coming down here into the country and adding another. It doesn't really matter where you add it. You can click down here and add another dimension. So this has two dimensions. We're going to add a third dimension. Let's say the city, for example. I can click city, and now underneath the page, the country, I can expand the country, and I will see the cities and the measures around that. So these are the different cities in the United States where this page was hit on. And I can move them around too. So if I wanted to get a different perspective, I could drag this up here, have country, page. I can even, if this makes sense, so United States, I can see from the United States what pages were hit from there, and then within those pages, what cities specifically. So like the error page, I can see what cities, North Hollywood, Seattle, and so forth, that hit upon this specific page. So adding dimensions is really simple. If you want a little more advanced feature, you can actually, for this test, we're going to add and create a new report here. And just to show you, if you add dimension, this is a little more advanced, you're creating a dimension. You can choose a parameter again, like we were choosing before. And let's say I'm just going to use page again. So we just do like page title. And I will go ahead, by default, it's all events, and I'll put page, let's say, Z page title dimension. And I'm going to run this report. And this is going to be very similar to the page activity. So I'm going to get back like the home, release notes. It doesn't show the full URL. It's just the page title. But you can see that the home, there's 64. Now, if I edit this dimension, you're going to see the original by default is all events. Now, I can choose from different options of what I want returned back from that dimension. So, for example, if we look at this one, first event in sessions. So identify events where the dimensions parameter is present in the first event of the session. So what that means is that if the home page, in this case, if the home page was the very first event in that session, then return that, count that data for me. So right now the homes, you can see here, I have 64 sessions. Let's see, users, views is 70. If I change this to first event and save it, I should expect less actually, either the same or less, because people, and here it is home, right? You have a lot less here because it's possible that people came in that their first event during a session was going directly to the downloads page. It doesn't have to be the home page. Now, if I change this again to, let's choose another option here so you can see. So let's say that it's the last event in the session. So that means during the entire session, was the home page their last event? We'll see what happens, but I don't expect that to be a lot, right? Because you usually land on the home page. And that makes sense here because your first event is coming to the home page. But when you leave, you might leave on another page. So if I choose last event and save this here, I get back the data as, let's see, so release notes. Oh, so homepage was, it's still on the top, but it wasn't the top. It looks like release notes was the last event. That's the most what people typically leave on. So this gives you an idea of how you can use dimensions and add that. And of course, you have unlimited number of dimensions that you can add. There's no limit there, and all the parameters that we collect at WebTrends can be added into a dimension. So these are all the different parameters that we can collect.